So a while ago, one of the people who watched my snap messaged me directly telling me to talk about being lonely, how it feels to be alone and have no friends. Now this person, he opened up to me and he was telling me all the problems he's going through, and first of all, I'm flattered that he would even consider me as an option to talk about this stuff. And he's not the only one. I've had numerous messages from different people telling me to talk about the same thing, which is being lonely, just why their friends are hating them, or why all of their friends disappeared somehow and they don't have anyone to talk to. And I just want to say something. Now, I finally decided to talk about this issue, but first of all, I'm not an expert, I'm not a therapist, a psychologist. I didn't study this stuff in detail So if you're looking for scientific facts and scientific evidence related to this topic, I'm the wrong person to ask, but I have something to offer other than that. And that thing is experience. I believe experience is knowledge in itself, and I'm just going to try to share my experience, and hopefully if you're going through that, you can benefit. Now, it's a common fact and it's part of human nature for us to want affection from other people, to want other people to care about us, to show gratitude towards us. This has been proven so many times. Even a Harvard study did research on this by asking old people what the secret to happiness is or what made them so happy, and they answered with this. The majority of them said that the secret to their happiness was having a best friend or someone who loves them or a loving family, so just human interactions. So you can't deny the fact that having someone who loves you makes you happy. It's something that we all need. We need people who love us so that we can be happy, right? But I read this somewhere a long time ago, and I truly believe in this, is that you can't be loved by anyone unless you love yourself. What he put is that if you can't love yourself, no one else will love you. And if you don't take your life seriously, if you don't take your ambitions or your goals seriously, no one else will take you seriously. So in order to have even a single person who loves you or appreciates you, you have to learn to appreciate yourself. And how do you do that? Let me tell you. It's by looking inside of you and seeing what's wrong. Why aren't you appreciating yourself? What is going on here? What is making you feel sad and lonely and unhappy when you're alone? I myself have gone through similar experiences. When I first came to Canada like 3 years ago, the first 6 months were very hard for me. I was alone. The thing about it is that I was so surprised at the time because I had friends from high school, from middle school, whatever, that were with me throughout all of my life, like 12 years. They went to their houses, they came to my house, I met their family, they met my family, so we were very close back home. And I thought, okay, these guys are going to be with me throughout all my life. I also thought that when I'm going through a rough time, like moving to a new country and struggling with finding friends, they're going to be there with me. They're going to be there with me all the way. I was wrong. Surprised is because I was stuck at home alone. I didn't have anyone to talk to, and all these friends that I thought would be with me, all of them disappeared. It's very normal. I felt very sad. I felt betrayed. How can they do this to me? I was with them all these years, and now they just go away when I'm going like in a different country. And now I know the reason why I felt this way, why I felt so sad. It wasn't because of them. They didn't do anything wrong. Well, I don't think they did anything wrong. It's because I allowed my happiness to be dependent on other people. I gave my happiness in the hands of other people, and I didn't control my own happiness. When you're at a point where your happiness is dependent on other people's approval of you, then you're in a very dangerous place because you no longer control your own happiness. This is a huge sign of a weak character. Is that you allow other people, whether they like you or not, to affect you and whether you're happy or not. That makes you. It also means that you are not sufficient enough for yourself. Like you're disrespecting yourself by telling you, okay, if this guy likes me, then I'm happy. But if he doesn't, and I can safely say that that was me the first 6 months in Canada. I was disrespecting myself because I had a weak character. I put my happiness in the hands of others and not. And why does this happen? There's a reason why all this happens. You have to look at the root of the problem. Don't look at the symptoms of the disease. There's a disease and there's symptoms. What I mean by that is that you have to look at the origin of the problem. The symptoms are what it makes you feel like. I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm angry. These are the symptoms. But what is the problem? For example, I don't have any friends and this is making me angry and unhappy and sad. Angry, unhappy, sad, these are the symptoms. But not having a friend, that's the problem. I'm saying this is that because a lot of people focus on the symptoms. Oh, I'm very sad and angry. I should go drink, I should go smoke just to release the stress. I should go talk about someone negative. have this negative energy in you and then you want to release it somehow. Is that by talking badly about other people or bashing other people or just drinking, and just a way of releasing. To avoid all of that, you have to put yourself in a positive situation and remove yourself from the negative situation. Solve the problem. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that you are not able to be happy when you're by yourself. If you are alone, what is wrong? Why can't you be happy by yourself? Why can't you make yourself happy? Are you not independent enough to control your own happiness? Is being alone, does it scare you? Do you need someone in order to be happy? Most of the times is that because you're not happy with yourself. There's something wrong going inside. You're not content with yourself. And to fix that is that you have to be honest with yourself. All of us, we have values, we have beliefs. All of us have different beliefs and values. We know what's right and we know what's wrong. And based on our own principles of what's right and wrong, if we are doing something wrong, our mind will automatically feel regret. Oh, I'm doing something wrong. I'm going to feel bad. Like, it will tell you. And you might not realize this straight away, like, wait, if you're doing something wrong. But deep inside, if you truly talk to yourself, you'll understand, okay, I'm doing something wrong. That's why I'm feeling. This wrong thing might be anything. Like, okay, I'm disrespecting my parents. I'm a very bad son. I'm held up by the past. I have so many. I'm lying a lot. I'm doing bad things, even though I'm trying to hide it or trying to escape from it by just watching TV and watching a TV show just to forget about all. And all this stuff is allowing you to have a very bad conscience. You don't have a clear conscience, because when you sit by yourself alone, you start thinking about all the things you're in your head. This does not happen when you're around friends and having fun all the time. It only happens when you're in a room by yourself, is that all these thoughts come in your head. Why? Is that because you're in your true form. And if you're not honest with yourself, if you keep lying to yourself, you will start hating being alone. You will start hating. So your escape is just being around friends. Is that, okay, I don't have to deal with all the problems in my life. I just be around friends and be happy and everyone's enjoying themselves. As soon as you be alone, it also might be that you feel like you're not achieving so much in your life. So you have all this regret and you're stuck. And the way to avoid all of this is that you have to do one simple thing. Clear your conscience. That is the best way to avoid all of this, is that you have to have a clear conscience. So that when you're alone, okay, I can be happy. There's nothing wrong. This could mean forgiving someone for doing something wrong to you. Forgiving yourself for doing something wrong. And how do you forgive yourself if you're alone and you have no one to talk to? I understand sometimes we do wrong things and then we don't have anyone to talk to about it because we're so embarrassed. And my solution to that was simply, I started to build my relationship with God. And by doing that is that I allowed myself to seek refuge from a higher superior being that would be there whenever I'm feeling down, whenever something wrong happens in my life. I have someone to talk to. I have someone to complain to. Someone who understands me more than I understand myself. And someone who will forgive me no matter what I do. Like, he will always forgive me. And when you have that relationship, no matter what it is, like if you're not Muslim or if you don't believe in a God or anything, just find something like that you have a relationship. Having a relationship like this that is completely honest, that there's nothing hiding, you don't hide anything from yourself, you're just completely crystal clear about everything. I hope that we find someone who we can be very honest with, that we have a very honest relationship with, that loves us for who we are and that we love them for who they are. And I wish the same for you. And the best thing to do that, in my opinion, is just to leave the past as the past and start a new page, a fresh page, telling yourself, okay, I'm going to start being honest and I know my own intuitions and I can trust my own intuitions to know what's right and what's wrong, and I will decide based on that. If there's a terrible thing that I did or a terrible thing that I did to someone, I will go and make amends, I will apologize, I will make it up for him or her. And once you do all of that, you'll start being content and satisfied with who you are. And you'll start to realize that your problems are so small compared to other people's problems. Like, you'll start looking at yourself, oh, I'm complaining that I don't have enough friends when someone else doesn't have eyes to see or he can't talk or anything. It's just, you'll also stop complaining as much because you'll realize that the people who are really happy, they're satisfied. They even though they have little, but they're satisfied. A quote in Arabic that I'm going to put in the next snap that I really like about satisfaction. Here it is. Basically what that quote means is that satisfaction is actually like a crown. It's like a treasure, and then you should hold on to it. And once you start feeling satisfied with who you are and know what you're good at and what you're not good at, and you know your strengths, your weaknesses, you're happy with who you are, people will love you. And that's it. Sorry for talking so much. I hope the message was clear and it reached. Take care.